Now we got the offender just muted themselves, whoever that was. So we have a lot of exciting stuff to go over today. We want to specifically focus in on Pennsylvania and Ohio. Like I said, that's probably going to be all we do today, is that, because I think there's a lot of information to go over. Great to see so many people on the call. Do we have David Gay on the phone with us?
This is Allie Gorgel. David Gay couldn't make it, but we have. I'm here, but I actually oversee Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin, so I didn't hear that on your list of states. But there's also Derek's on the call from Pennsylvania as well. Okay.
I think all of those states are states that we had missed in our rollout. So us being able to hit those states today as well would be absolutely incredible.
Okay.
The one thing I am going to ask is, because there are so many people on this call for the state of Pennsylvania, that we just kind of start with Pennsylvania, if that's okay.
Sure.
Because there are so many from Pennsylvania. With that said, that's not to discount any of the other states, guys. You know, we're excited about it, the product, and everywhere that WellCare is offering it. We're planning on working leads in quite a bit of these areas. So if we could just kind of roll into starting with the Pennsylvania side, and then let's move over to Illinois and Wisconsin. Let's go there. So
sure. Well, this is Derek Hicks. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to join you guys here this evening. Now, you can discount some of the other states, because being from Pennsylvania, I'm perfectly fine with that if you want to focus on the state that matters.
Ali does not want to hear that at all.
No offense to my colleagues, but I'll go ahead and share my screen here.
Go for it.
Yeah. All right. Do we see Medicare field sales?
We see it.
All right. Perfect. There's some slides in here, admittedly, that are probably redundant. I will go through those more quickly, particularly the leading slides with the corporate stuff. You guys have seen that, of course. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and get rolling here. So the agenda, again, the Centene overview, you guys are familiar. We'll just touch on a few points and how that relates to Pennsylvania. I'll just briefly introduce, by way of the slides here, our team here in Pennsylvania on the broker support side. We'll take a look at Pennsylvania at a glance, real quick market overview of what we're dealing with here, the coverage area. We'll touch on the products. I'm not going to give you guys long, lengthy grids. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a big fan of that. You're going to see the documents when they become available with all of the detail. You have access to the first look as well, which gives you a decent amount of the gist of what we're offering. So I'll just kind of hit some of the highlights there. And again, I don't know how much the other areas are covering in terms of Ascend. If that's a platform that you guys are utilizing, just touch on that very briefly. And just some closing comments in terms of why brokers would choose to do business with us here in Pennsylvania with the All-Well products. So again, you guys have seen these. I'm sure you've seen these slides. The important thing that I always like to talk about with respect to Pennsylvania, Centene, frankly, was not a well-known name in this market. This market is dominated by a lot of regional players. We've got major Blue Cross Blue Shield carrier, other carriers on the national side that have really penetrated this market, both in Western PA and in Eastern Pennsylvania. But obviously, with respect to who we are at Centene, being 42 on the Fortune 500, number 7 on the Fortune Change the World, we're in all 50 states now with the acquisition of WellCare, so that's a big increase for us there. Also in terms of the membership with over 24 million managed care members. Again, I'm sure you guys have seen some of this, but I think an amazing statistic is that we're serving 1 in 15 individuals in the country at this point. So that is, when you think about it, that's quite an accomplishment. So our team in Pennsylvania, Nicole Morazzo is our vice president over the entire region, vice president of Midwest region. Myself, I'm Derek Hicks. I'm the field agency manager over the brokerage channel here for Pennsylvania. Toya Plater is our manager, who's going to be managing the what we call Medicare advisors, which are our internal reps. I have two individuals that work for me directly, Carrie Livengood, who's a sales executive primarily in Western Pennsylvania. And then we have Colleen Heilman, who is in the central part of the state, as well as the southeast, which is essentially the 5 counties in the Philly area. These two individuals are fantastic. So certainly any interaction that you would have with them, very responsive, very service oriented. We're very much about a high touch model in Pennsylvania. So we have the bandwidth to be able to work with brokers one-on-one. So that's certainly something we pride ourselves on. Why do business with Allwell? Obviously, you guys are doing business in a number of states, but particularly in Pennsylvania, there's a great amount of potential for lead support. We have a relationship with the state of Pennsylvania on the DSNP side. Most notably, it's on the Medicaid side. It's something called Community Health Choices. It's essentially a feeder for us. We have thousands upon thousands of members with our Pennsylvania Health and Wellness local plan that we are trying to convert to the DSNP product. So the DSNP has been a heavy focus for us over the last, I'd say, 2.5 to 3 years that we've been in the market. We are very interested in helping agencies grow their business. Of course, everybody is, but the big key here is diversification. As I mentioned earlier, we're up against a lot of heavy competition in this area. And I've actually been in the Medicare business for about 17 years. I've worked for a number of carriers and also in the agency world. So I'm very familiar with the high level of competition that we're facing. Diversifying is obviously something that brokers want to be aware of. Not putting all of your eggs in one basket. There's certainly changes year to year. So it's always good. That's a big push for us. We're finally, quite frankly, in a more competitive situation in Pennsylvania on our HMO products, as you'll see in the coming slides. So we want to push the fact that, this is the year. I've been calling our launching pad. It's the year to get in with us locally here in PA. It's going to be even bigger for 2022 when we plan to have the WellCare brand be the staple brand here in PA. Products, I'm sure, are going to be even more aggressively priced, and the marketing, I'm sure, will follow along with that. So 2021 is the time to get in the door with us. It's as I said, it's our launching pad. The cutting edge technology with Ascend. There's money after the sale with Ascend as well. There's additional opportunities for commission dollars there. Again, we've got the sales support. I believe we've got a small team, but a very effective team in terms of supporting the brokers. I touched on this earlier with the product development that I believe is ahead for not only for 2021, but years to follow. And we have that personalized approach with respect to marketing as well as the sales support. So Pennsylvania at a glance, as I said, we're heavily rooted in the DSNP thus far. I've been with the company for about 2.5 years. We have grown to 5,000 members on the DSNP product, and that has been done primarily by leveraging our CHC relationship. Again, that's on the Medicaid side that we have directly with the state of Pennsylvania. There are lead opportunities there. Again, thousands of members across the state that are with us on the Medicaid side that have yet to be converted over to the DSNP. So we're hitting them one by one, brick by brick. And we're happy to say that the HMO product line has expanded to target a variety of markets. We have about 1,300 members there. So again, we're still in our relative infancy with respect to the HMO product line. We're expecting to see some significant growth in the HMO space. So again, time to get in. This is the launching pad year for 2021. Of course, you guys are well familiar with the WellCare products. that's gonna further support our efforts here in Pennsylvania. There are conversion opportunities for us to move PDP membership and convert them into the DSNP or the HMO. It's only going to help us, and of course, in 2022, with the branding of the WellCare name, we expect that to, there will be a big push there as well. Admittedly, one of our Achilles heels has been the network. We are closing the gaps. We're in a much better position on the facility side than we had been in the past. Only a couple gaps really across the state. PCP specialists, what have you, that continues to grow as well. So it's a work in progress, but we're definitely in a better spot than we have been. So we're encouraged by that. And we are in all of Pennsylvania. Our plans are available in Pennsylvania with the exception of 3 counties that are in the central to eastern part of the state. But otherwise we are either both DSNP and HMO, or in some counties, as you'll see later, just the DSNP. I'm sure you guys are aware of this. Just wanted to point this out in my deck here. The first look document, if you haven't gone out and looked at that, definitely take a look with the Centene firstlook.com. It's going to give you some more detail than what I'm going to present here today. This is our product map. This is, you'll see all of Western Pennsylvania essentially is in that, I guess we'll call it salmon. Let's call it a salmon color. What the heck, right? That's both DSNP and HMO. The green counties primarily in the central and like the northeast region. That's where we're only the DSNP product. And there's that little gap in there. Those are the 3 counties that I mentioned earlier where we do not currently have plan offerings. Certainly don't expect you to digest this. This is just to support my earlier point regarding the network. In the green, these are facilities that we have under contract. Yellow, a lot of these actually have gone under contract. We're working we're working diligently to kind of fill in the gaps. There's a few handful in the west there that we're trying to obtain. Most notably, Allegheny Health Network. That's one facility network that we don't currently have, but we're in active negotiations with them. We're very hopeful there. So, pretty good on the facility side overall. So again, we'll talk more in detail. Just a couple highlights. Our All-Well Medicare HMO product, I think that's going to be our lead product. That's the product that we have currently for 2020. It's the one that is returning for 2021. We've got a few more offerings. Some of these names will sound familiar, the branding with the HMO Boost. The main thing with that plan is that there is a $30 Part B give back. Benefits not quite as rich as the All-Well HMO, the Medicare HMO. So we'll see a common theme here. I think that's the product we're going to end up leading with most definitely. Complement is a product that was designed to be geared towards the LIS population. Admittedly, the benefits aren't as good as on that plan. So quite honestly, I'll go right back to that All-Well Medicare HMO, the core product. That product is going to serve those LIS eligibles as well. And then we have the HMO Simple, which is for the MA only market, those who are obviously on VA coverage or have some other pharmaceutical assistance program, some other prescription drug plan other than the Part D. On the duals, we've touched on this already. We think we're very competitive on the dual product. That's going to continue to be a focus. And again, we're gonna treat AEP. I call it like lock-in on steroids when it comes to the DSNP. We're really rallying the troops to continue to sell the DSNP product through the AEP. We know, of course, that for those of you that know that it's a quarterly special election, it mirrors the AEP. It essentially is the AEP. So there's that opportunity to continue on with the DSNP for January 1st business, and we're certainly going to push that hard. Key features, we'll talk about some of these as we go. So some of this is kind of redundant, reiterating some things here, but the Boost, again, is the new product, one of the new products, the All Well Medicare Boost. It has the feature really here is the $30 give back. Again, this is going to be for your low utilizers because the benefits aren't quite as rich as you'll see on the All Well Medicare HMO below that. So again, it's a very specific market in my opinion. If you got somebody that is just completely premium focused, and they like the zero premium, but they also like the $30 off. They don't generally have regular services other than a few things here and there with the PCP perhaps. This might be a product for them. But again, the All Well Medicare HMO, the second one down, that's the one that we're gonna lead with most heavily. I think that's the most competitive product that we have in the market. The Simple we talked about. Again, MA only on that product. Complement is geared towards LIS, but to be candid, we're really looking at that All Well Medicare HMO as, you know, as much for those LIS recipients as the complement. And then finally, of course, our dual Medicare. It's a fully dual product, so it's only for the fully dual individuals. A couple of benefits highlights here. On the DSNP, our over-the-counter got bumped up pretty strong here. We're at 335 to 360 depending on the region. Western PA it's 335. In some areas in East it's actually 360 per quarter. So that's very competitive with respect to our DSNP competitors in the market. Dental's very strong at 4,000. The hearing is. You know, I know this is standard across a lot of the All Well plans. Essentially, no cost to the member for 2 hearing aids per calendar year. You know, one per ear. So a very strong benefit there. Transportation got beefed up considerably. It's unlimited for the medical trips, for one-way trips, and there are 20 non-medical trips. So quite a rich benefit there on the transportation. Vision looks really good too with 350 combined benefit. And then as with all of our plans, we have the Silver and Fit membership as well. And these are just some of the highlights, by the way. There's certainly more that you'll be able to dig into. All Well Medicare HMO. Again, if you take nothing off from today out of this presentation, I would say that to keep in mind that this All Well Medicare HMO is the one product that's returning from 2020. This is the product that I think 9 times out of 10 you're going to lead with. This is probably the most competitive with respect to the benefits. It really addresses all different market segments, whether you're talking high utilizer, low utilizer, LIS, what have you. In my opinion, this is the catch-all product that you're going to want to focus on. Should be very competitive for 2021. Big thing is the per stay. This year, our products were all per day on the hospitalization. That was a competitive disadvantage for us in some respects. We're now looking really good with the 350 per stay rather than the per day. And of course, 0 on the PCP, 0 on the labs. The MOOP is slightly less than what CMS allows at this point, but again, I think overall, when you dig into this more with some of the ancillary benefits, you're going to see that this is the lead product. Here's some extras as well. A little bit of over the counter, not a whole heck of a lot, but it's you know, a value add that we're able to throw in there. The dental's strong with 3,000 in comparison to our competitors as well. Transportation. You do have the 20 one-way trips. That's medical. So again, on the HMO, it's not as rich as you're going to see on the DSNP for transportation. And then we have the emergency response as well, which all of our plans have. Boost, not going to spend a lot of time because I think we know what we're talking about here. It's all about the give back. It's all about the give back. It's really what this plan brings to the table. It's gonna really focus on a specific clientele that is premium focused, that's looking for that additional $30 off of their Part B. Benefits not as rich on that plan. Again, there's some additional over the counter there. The dental is less. The dental's 1,000. Vision's a little bit less too at 250. So again, I think you guys get the gist. Complement, again, it's geared towards the LAS. It should be zero premium with their LIS eligibility, but it has, it does have a $5 copay on the PCP, 45 on the specialist, the higher MOOB inpatients, per day. So, we always want to be positive about everything that we have in our portfolio. But again, I think the all-well Medicare HMO is gonna really cover this LIS space more so than the complement. There was some over the counter there, 25 a quarter, 1,000 on the dental, and 200 for vision. Simple, again, is very focused on a particular segment, those that do not need Part D coverage, that have it elsewhere, that have sufficient coverage on the prescription side. VA, prescription assistance programs, like we have PACE here in Pennsylvania. You'll probably hear about that if you haven't already. That's a pharmaceutical assistance program through the state. So that's what this plan is. That's who this plan is going to attract. Strong max out of pocket at $34.50 is one of the highlights there. It is a per day on the hospitalization, but specialist copay is a little less, 35, PCP 0. So again, overall benefits are pretty decent on this plan. It's definitely a product that you want to look at for those who are looking at the MA only. Some extra benefits. Again, the over-the-counter is a little higher than what you've seen on some of the other HMOs. Dental's at 1,000. Of course, we have the hearing benefit along with the vision, which is between 150 and 200, depending on what region you're in PA. I'm sure you guys know this already. I'll go through this stuff rather quickly in the interest of time. Hearing aid benefit is offered through Hearing Care Solutions. So we do have a number of manufacturers that we work with. We hear a lot of great things about the hearing aid benefit. It's very competitive in our Pennsylvania market, I know, as well as in other markets. So again, $0 copay available on the hearing aids. Teledoc, I know other states have talked about this. Certainly in this time of COVID, in this pandemic situation that we find ourselves in, telephonic medicine is a big thing. It's 24/7, it's toll-free, gives them another option to have access to board-certified physicians. Personal emergency response, again, you're going to see this on a lot of the All-Well products, so I don't want to be redundant. You guys have heard about this already, but it's another great benefit that we have both on our HMO and D-SNP. Silver and Fit, again, same thing. Essentially, it's access to a fitness facility at no cost. There are other programs for those that don't go to a gym, so they have other programs available at no cost to them as well. So it's a great benefit for everybody. There's also My Health Payers Rewards, which is essentially a preloaded Visa card that they'll receive. If they obtain services like a flu vaccine, diabetes care, colon cancer screening, breast cancer screening, all those things you see here, they earn money on that card that they can redeem for additional rewards. So it's a nice little added benefit that we throw in there as well. The training, I'm sure most of you guys, if not all of you, have been through this. There's no real point in going through all of this here, but we are reimbursing brokers the $125 with 10 new sales. If they put 10 sales on the books for 1/1/21 and they stay on or through the 31st of March, we will reimburse the $125 for the AHIP. Ascend, I'm sure you guys are familiar with this. A lot of great tools here. PCP search, you can verify eligibility, LIS eligibility. There's functionality within Ascend that allows you to enroll somebody, which is called rate. You can enroll someone electronically. So again, this has become the norm for us. I'm sure for you guys as well. We've shifted our operations, at least internally, to exclusively selling through Ascend and selling electronically. We're not doing face-to-face. We're just now starting to get into it. Given the climate in Pennsylvania with the pandemic, we're just starting to get into that option of being able to go out into the field. But you know, guys, what we're finding, and I'm sure you're seeing this as well, when we shifted to this model, we're actually more effective. We're actually better use of our time, you know, obviously less windshield time. And we've actually not skipped a beat in terms of our production, particularly internally. So the brokers have the same option here with Ascend. So we think it's a great tool. So just to summarize and conclude here. So why do business with Allwell? We're a relatively new market. So this is my third AEP, fourth overall, I believe, in Pennsylvania. There's the major players here in the market, and you know, the one thing, or many things, but certainly most notably, one thing we bring to the table is the support through the leads that we're able to offer on the DSNP side as well as the HMO. We're ramping up marketing considerably, particularly on the direct mail side. So we do expect a lot of leads, a lot of opportunities for follow-ups that will come through as a result of the direct mail. And again, we want to help everyone grow and diversify, not put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. We've got the great technology with Ascend, with the money after the sale that's available through that product. The great support and, you know, big things to come. We're looking at having a Medigap plan. It is very likely that we will have something for 2021 in Q1 or Q2. So that will complement the WellCare standalone PDP. So that'll complete the circle on that. So we're excited about the idea of having a Medigap early in 2021, PPO beyond that. It's only going to get bigger and better from here. So with that, I thank you guys, and I don't know how we'll do this, if we wanted to take any questions now or if we wanted to wait till we get through the other states. Up to you guys.
Let's take some questions specific to Pennsylvania if we could.
Sure.
Let me open it up there to the floor first.
Mm-hmm.
What type of questions do you guys have?
Hey, Derek, thanks so much for hopping on the call and going through the product with us. I think we're real excited about Pennsylvania. This is Mike Jr. I wanted to ask a couple questions in regard to, in the past, we've done a lot of business since 2003 in Pennsylvania. We've watched carriers come and go, in and out, you know, whether it be the west side or the east side of the state. And Derek, I'm asking, who, with the Allwell product that you're saying we should lead with, who's the biggest competition that we're going to come against?
Yeah, Michael, it depends on the region. If we're talking about Western Pennsylvania, and that's where I'm located, I'm about 25 miles north of Pittsburgh, sitting here in my kitchen talking with you. And I've been rooted in Western Pennsylvania, so I know that market a lot better than Eastern. I'm getting familiar with it as I go.
Out there?
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be UPMC that we're gonna really butt up against.
You know who you're going to run against. There's four, but I'd say in order of who would be most prevalent, I would actually say Aetna. Aetna has really sharpened their pencils on the products here in Pennsylvania over the last, you know, I'm going to say 3 or 4 years at least. They're consistently very strong with their products. And they have the advantage of being all things to all people. They leverage both the UPMC health system and Allegheny Health Network. Those are the two dominant health systems in Western PA. So you've got Aetna, I'd say, followed by very closely by Highmark and UPMC. So Highmark and UPMC have been duking it out for a lot of years. You know, I'm very familiar with both of them. And then I'd say United is in the game too, to a slightly lesser degree, Humana to a lesser degree. Then when you look at Eastern, just real quick, I'll say, you know, it's the Blues. It's always going to be the Blues, right? I mean, they're always strong no matter where you're at. Capital Blue Cross is a Harrisburg-based Blue Cross plan. Independence is in the Philly market. That's another Blues plan. You got Cigna, who's a little bit more of a player out there. You got Geisinger. UPMC's out there now, so is Highmark. So, you know, some of the players are the same. Aetna, of course. So, you know, that $0 Medicare HMO that we have now, I'm just going to tell you flat out, it's not competitive this year. It's not. 2020, we are not in the ball game. 2021, I feel as though that we are. We have a very competitive formulary. We hear that all the time, that our tiering for a number of our prescription drugs are more favorable than some of our competitors. They like the service that we provide. As long as the network fits, I think that Allwell HMO, the Allwell Medicare HMO is going to make some noise this year. So we're excited to finally, in my humble opinion, you know, to be in the ball game this time for 2021.
Great. Just a follow up then. What is your goal for the AEP for this year? Like in terms of where you see Pennsylvania hitting as a whole?
Those numbers are actually yet to be fully determined. We've seen some preliminary goals. So if we're talking about the broker channel, I mean, certainly I'd like to see us, personally, I'd like to see us hit at least, you know, at least 500, if not closer to 1,000 for AEP. Now, I'd say, you know, a decent segment of that's going to come from our DSNP because we're going to keep hitting that hard. So, you know, we've all cards on the table, Michael. The HMO, we got nowhere to go but up. I mean, we got nowhere to go but up on that. I expect a lot more. So, you know, from individual agencies, we are asking our partners to, you know, have us work with the individual brokers, look at their book of business, say, okay, where do we fit? Where's our sweet spot here? We're not asking for all of your business. We're asking for a segment of your business. This is a launching pad. As I said, this is a starting point. So we're looking for more engagement overall. The numbers will come with that.
Derek, I'm sorry, Mike, were you done?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you, Michael.
Derek, can you talk about two things? First off, how do we look as far as network goes in the Philadelphia area? Is the first thing. And the second thing is, can you touch on this Pennsylvania rule as far as doctors having to accept Medicaid people in MA plans? A little hairy on that. We've had a bunch of conversation about it.
Okay. Yeah. So the Philly market, we've come a long way in the Philly market. We've just added Jefferson Hospital. We're loading those docs in our system as we speak, and we want to have everybody up and loaded in our Find a Provider tool. Everybody, you know, appropriately credentialed for AEP. So that's what they're working on now. So we just recently signed Jefferson. Jefferson's a big system with multiple locations. So Philly-wise, you know, we've got Penn, we've got Temple, we've got Jefferson. Only real omission there is Einstein. It's the only one we don't have for you know, as far as the main systems are concerned. So we actually look really good in Philly. We're competitive there. Central Pennsylvania is where we have probably the most struggle network-wise.
Okay.
I mentioned before in Western we're pretty strong with a few issues here and there, but specifically to answer your question, Philly's pretty strong.
Okay.
Philly's good. Now I'm sorry. Repeat the question. The second.
My understanding is there's something in the state of Pennsylvania. And if I've been given this information, please correct me. But there's something in the state of Pennsylvania that prohibits Medicaid doctors who are accepting Medicaid to not accept a DSNP plan. They have to accept a DSNP plan. Is this accurate information, or is there something of this sort that you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure I understand the full breadth of your question. I mean, I mean, I was talking before about the community health choices. So that's been a move to basically a privatization of the Medicaid program in Pennsylvania. And we're one of only 3 carriers that have that, that have that relationship. So, I mean, they have to, in the case of our DSNP members, if they go to a, like, let's say they go to a non-network provider with us, in truth, on the Medicaid side, the doctor, they're going to have to accept them and pay the claim, because the provider would likely be with us on the Medicaid side, if that makes, and I don't know that really addresses your question, but I mean,
no, it absolutely does. But is that the case on the Medicare, on the dual eligible side as well, or just on the strictly Medicaid side?
Just on the Medicaid side, but it's
that's where the confusion was.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a little dirty secret that, again, we have the DSNP is a network product, right? Of course, it's a Medicare. It's by its very nature a Medicare Advantage plan, albeit a specialized one. So it has a network. But in truth, if we have a member that goes to a non-participating provider, like a specialist, for example, or a facility, they go to a non-participating provider with the DSNP, but they're with us on the Medicaid side. The bottom line is it's going to get paid. Right. It's kind of a hush hush type of thing, but that is the reality. Now PCPs are a different story because they have to designate one, so they absolutely have to be in our DSNP. They have to designate that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have any questions for Derek regarding Pennsylvania?
I do.
Okay.
So I'm licensed in Pennsylvania, although I've never written Medicare Advantage there. So my question is, I saw that it said under emergency response lifetime. I'm just wondering if that is a new stipulation. And then secondly, would that still apply if there's a different benefit vendor, because that changes from time to time, correct?
Yeah, so this is a new program that we have available essentially in all of our states, and I know Allie will talk about it as well. So excuse me, I'm not really sure the reference to the lifetime. Let me go back to what you're.
I guess in essence, it's saying that a person can only get an emergency response system one time. And so again, the question is, if they have been on a Centene product and they go to a different carrier, and just say some years down the line, they come back to Centene, if that vendor has changed, would that lifetime stipulation still apply?
I don't know the answer to that, but I would imagine if they left and came back, that benefit would refresh. I mean, because that's typically how it works, regardless of what we're talking about, right? I mean, I don't know, Allie, do you have any? I know this is available in your state.
Yeah, I think it's one per like life of the policy, right? So
right.
It's not one per your entire lifetime. If you go away for several years and then come back, you could get a new one.
That's what I would assume as well. Yes, thank you.
Great.
Jackie, this is a good year to start selling in PA.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your question.
Any other questions for Derek? All right, well, Derek, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to the partnership and trying to make some things happen over there.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Thank you.
We're gonna switch reins here and hand them over to Allie now. So the screen is yours.
All right. So I know this was only scheduled till 7:15, which is only 3 more minutes. So
7:30 it was scheduled until.
I'm really sorry.
7:30.
That's fine.
Okay. So that's only less than 20 minutes. So I guess I want to prioritize. I have Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin. So I guess maybe we can start with the state where we would have the most activity.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin would be the first one. That's where we, I believe we are getting Part Ds in. Illinois, and then Indiana. Indiana would be our least important of the three.
Okay.
And based on what David had said. Okay, so maybe we should prioritize Indiana then.
No, that's okay. We'll start in Wisconsin. All right, let me share my screen here. Okay, can everyone see Wisconsin product footprint?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So in Wisconsin, this should be actually really fairly quick. We were in 34 counties for 2020. In 2021, we'll be in 35. So we're adding Dane County, and that's why it's shaded in light purple. So Wisconsin is an all well only state. There are no well care MAPDs. There it goes. So the network in Wisconsin is, we've got the entire network, with the exception of Prevea up in the Green Bay market. So I won't go through all of them, but the biggest one that we have competitive wise in Dane County is University of Wisconsin. So United is our biggest competitor, and they do not have University of Wisconsin. So we have a huge opportunity in Dane County. But for the rest of the counties that we're in, we pretty much have a full network. So here's, and I'll just kind of flip through these slides so you can see some of them.
It's like you have to be a rocket scientist.
If you were not
So for 2021, the only product.
You are like.
I'm sorry, Alec.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
So for 2021, the only product we'll have in Wisconsin is a D-SNP. So the max out of pocket, obviously that no one will hit because they're on Medicaid, but $6,700. The value adds are really strong in Wisconsin. So dental is $3,000 max benefit for preventive and comprehensive services. The over-the-counter benefit is $120 every month. They do have 50 one-way transportation trips, post-inpatient meals. And then for 2021, we've added a medication management program, companion care, and 20 one-way non-medical transportation. So the non-medical transportation that's a benefit to address social isolation. So that would be for going to the gym, going to the grocery, going to a senior center for an event, things like that. So they'll have 20 one-way trips for those needs. The companion care is a benefit where, again, it's to address social isolation. They get one outreach call a month, and it's not, to talk about their medical issues. It's just to simply offer support, chat with them if they're lonely. And then the medication management is actually a device that holds 28 doses, and it has a timer on it, so it reminds the member when they need to take. So if they have a morning and lunch and a evening dose that they need to take, it will remind them at whatever times that they set it up for. And then if they miss a dose, there will be like lights and an alarm. And then if they still don't take it, it will actually they'll reach out to them and their support person, whoever they choose. So if that's a child or a spouse, to call and make sure that they get that medication. So that's a really cool benefit. It's offered through the same vendor that the PERS device, or the personal emergency response system. It's the same vendor, and it's a super cool product. So we're excited to offer that this year. Dental is provided through Delta Dental in Wisconsin. I think it's the only all-well state where dental is provided through Delta. basically the biggest thing is, like I said, the $3,000 maximum benefit allowance, and that would include dentures in that benefit too.
Allie, actually, Arkansas has Delta Dental, just so you know as well. Arkansas
Oh,
is the all-well
okay.
plan. That's the only other one that has it.
Got it. Thank you. So contacts for the state, local leadership, regional vice president is Nicole Morazzo, and then the field agency executive is Jonathan Strand. So I've been managing the state for a little over a year, but as of AEP, I will be stepping into full-time Illinois and Indiana only. And so Nicole and John will really be your go-to for any questions in that market. Any questions about Wisconsin?
I think we're good.
No. Okay, cool. So Illinois. All right. So for Illinois, again, Nicole Morazzo is our vice president. I'll be managing the broker channel, the field agency manager. And Sayeda Redmond-Reed is one of our field agency executives. And then we also have Stacy Cannon, who is also a field agency executive in that market. We were in 17 counties for 2020. We'll be in 18 for 2021, so we're expanding into DuPage County, which just made sense being between Cook and Kane. And this is a WellCare only state. So we've had all well products in the past, but when we merged with WellCare, that business was sold. So this is a WellCare only state. So some of the highlights for Illinois. We've got kind of a full suite of MAPD products. So an HMO, PPO, we have a DSNP lookalike, or an LIS plan, and then we have a CSNP as well. Our benefits are super competitive in this market. New for 2021, no referrals are required to see specialists. I was surprised when I heard we were even doing that, because no other state I've worked in has had that as a requirement in several years. So I'm glad they took that off for 2021.
Allie, is Illinois one of the states that there are no DSNP products, period, from any carriers? They're all lookalikes?
Correct. Yeah, they have the state government has an MMP, and so they don't allow DSNP products.
Got it.
Like, true, yeah, yep. So some of the value-added benefits for this year, we have flex cards on several of our plans, up to $2,500, and that can be used on dental, vision, and hearing. The PERS device is not the same one that the all well plans use, but similar device. On the LIS plans, we've got unlimited one-way non-medical trips, and then our fitness benefit is through Silver and Fit or Silver Sneakers, depending on the plan that they choose. So network, this is not an exhaustive list, but some of the biggest health systems in the market that we have in network. I will tell you that we have some legacy Meridian MAPD plans, and then legacy WellCare MAPD plans. They're all branded WellCare, but the contract numbers, one of the contracts was legacy Meridian and the other two were legacy WellCare. So the networks still aren't completely merged. So just make sure if you're selling there that you're looking on the provider directory to make sure that the provider you're looking for is participating in the plan that you're looking at. Okay, so we actually have 13 plans, so I'll be brief about these and just kind of pick out the biggest standout benefits. So the WellCare Value Plans and HMO plan, new for 2021 is that $1,500 a year flex card, and it can be used for dental and vision, and then the unlimited one-way non-medical trips on this plan. They do have $2,500 in preventive and comprehensive dental included, so the flex card would be used if they exhaust those benefits, or they choose to go out of network, because this is an HMO plan, that they can use the flex card out of network. And then the maximum out of pocket on this is $34.50, which is pretty low compared to the competition. The WellCare Patriot plan is our MA only plan, so no Part D benefits. Max out of pocket is low at $34.50. Biggest thing on this is the $2,000 dental benefit. It includes preventive and comprehensive. They also have the hearing aid allowance and eyewear allowance. And then we do offer transportation on that plan, 24 one-way trips, and that's medically necessary trips, so to the doctor, to the pharmacy. The WellCare Essential HMO plan has a $0 premium, $34.50 max out of pocket. Biggest things on this plan, so $1,000 hearing aid allowance, $750 preventive and comprehensive dental, and then the $200 eyewear allowance on that one. This plan does not have transportation, but has no Part D deductible. The WellCare Essential is also a $0 premium plan, $34.50 max out of pocket. There's hearing, dental, and vision benefits, $1,000 for hearing, $500 for the preventive and comprehensive dental, and a $200 eyewear benefit. Again, $0 deductible on that Part D benefit. WellCare Essential in DuPage County. So this is a new plan for 2021. It's an HMO, $0 premium, $34.50 max out of pocket. This benefit actually has $2,000 for preventive and comprehensive dental, and does have the 24 one-way trips for medically necessary transportation, and again, a $0 deductible for the Part D benefit. The WellCare Explore is our other HMO that's new for 2021, and it's in DuPage County as well. That's a $0 premium plan, $34.50 on the max out of pocket. The over-the-counter benefit is really high on this one. It's $110 per quarter, so that doesn't roll from quarter to quarter. They use it or lose it. The hearing aid allowance on this one is $4,000, which is huge, and then $2,500 on the preventive and comprehensive dental. And then this plan also has a $1,500 flex card for dental and vision, and then the unlimited one-way non-medical trips. And then they have the 24 medically necessary trips on this plan as well. So this one is a pretty stacked plan. The WellCare Exclusive is a tiered HMO plan. So there's a tier 1 and tier 2 in network. So the cost share will be different depending on which tier provider that you use. The premium on this one is $0. The max out of pocket is only $3,000, so that's super low. The over-the-counter benefit's $135 per quarter. $3,500 on the dental benefit, preventive and comprehensive. It does have 24 one-way medically necessary trips. And this plan has a $2,500 a year flex card that can be used on dental and vision, as well as the non-medical trips on this one. So again, another stacked plan here. The WellCare Plus is our DSNP lookalike or LIS plan. So the premium is $1,660, and obviously that would depend on their level of LIS, so that could be $0 to $1,660. Max out of pocket on this one is $34.50. They do have a generous over-the-counter benefit at $200 per quarter. The hearing aid allowance is $2,000. The dental is super generous at $4,000. That's preventive and comprehensive. And they actually have 48 one-way medically necessary trips per year. And then the flex card on this is also a $2,500 flex card and can be used on dental, vision, and hearing. And then obviously the Part D would be based on the low-income subsidy level. So the WellCare Edge is another DSNP lookalike or LIS plan. That premium is between $0 and $2,740, again, depending on the level of LIS. The max out of pocket is $34.50. Over the counter, again, is $200 per quarter on this plan. They have the $4,000 hearing aid allowance and $4,000 preventive comprehensive dental benefit. 48 one-way trips for medically necessary transportation. And this plan also has a $2,500 flex card for dental, vision, and hearing, the non-medical trips, and this plan also has a $50 per month grocery delivery benefit, and that is run through Shipt, and it's just an allowance to get them groceries delivered to their home. All right, we have the WellCare Guardian, and that's the our CSNP plan, and so that is for diabetes only. That plan has a $0 premium, a max out of pocket of $34.50. The over-the-counter is $25 per quarter, so that one's a little lower. But they do have $2,000 max benefit for their preventive and comprehensive dental. No transportation is provided on the CSNP plan. The WellCare Compass is an HMO LIS plan as well. Premium is $0 to $12.60, depending on that level of LIS. Max out of pocket is $34.50. Their over-the-counter is $150 per quarter. Hearing aid is high, again, at $4,000 max benefit. The dental benefits at $3,000, and then they have 24 medically necessary trips per year. They also have the $2,500 flex card for dental, vision, and hearing, and the non-medical trips.
This premium is all Part C, Part D weighted?
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm. The WellCare Premier is new for 2021, so it's a PPO plan. And that plan is has a $0 premium. So the in-network max out of pocket is $34.50, out of network $51.50. The over-the-counter benefit is $85 per quarter, but they're getting the $2,500 benefit for preventive and comprehensive dental. They're also getting the transportation on this plan, so 24 one-way trips, and they've added the $1,500 flex card for dental, vision, and hearing, and no deductible on Part D. So this is a super strong PPO plan. And then finally, we have the PPO Give Back plan, so also new for 2021. The Part B Give Back on this plan is $75, so the benefits are significantly less than the other PPO, but they're getting, that's a pretty significant Part B give back. So this plan will be good for people who are healthy, not really using the benefits, and want that money back on their Part B premium. All right, any questions about Illinois? And it's 7:30 on the dot.
Holly, great job. Let me ask you a question real fast, and maybe you can answer it fast. I'm not sure. Some of those Indiana plans look really exciting. What are we going to come up against? What's the competition look like? Usually the more aggressive plans have some very heavy competition that they're facing. What's the biggest challenge in Indiana that somebody's going to face?
So those were Illinois.
Illinois.
I meant Illinois. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, we do have exciting plans in Indiana too, but that was Illinois. So we're going to come up, so the network is a challenge, and so we're going to come up against carriers whose benefits are also strong, but have a better network. So we might have the best benefits in the market, but if the network doesn't work, it doesn't work. And so we are pushing the network team to close gaps as quickly as possible. We've made some strides for 2021, but still have some work to do, and they're still working on trying to get those gaps closed for us before AEP starts. Humana has the lion's share of the market in Illinois, so I think they have somewhere around 40% of the market, followed by United and Aetna. So those are going to be our biggest competitors in the market. And really, I'm talking about the Chicago area and surrounding counties. We're in a couple of outlying counties in the rest of the state, but of course the biggest population is going to be in that Northeast Illinois market.
Awesome. Anybody else have some questions for Allie? Nobody?
And what I can do is send you basically all 3 slide decks, and then if somebody has questions about Indiana, since I know we're at a little over time, if somebody has questions about Indiana, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer those. Does that work?
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be appreciated, very much so. And we appreciate you you flying through that as quickly as you did as well. A lot of good stuff in there. A lot of really high flex cards. It's that's incredible.
Yeah, great benefits for 2021. So we're hoping we'll be a huge player in Illinois, but also you know, growing the Wisconsin market as well. Being only a DSNP, we're much smaller, but trying to grow our presence there as well.
Right. That's fantastic. Awesome. Allie, thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions at all? All right. Well, like we said in all the previous webinars that we've done where we've rolled product out, it's a lot to absorb. Obviously, we know everybody gets excited about different states, but just suck it up, look at it, understand it. It's great for you to meet the contacts in the different states. So as you start working there, Allie and Derek, so you know, we have a lot of people that are going to be doing telesales. That'll be working in all these various states. So there's going to be a lot of newbies working within those states as well. So
Perfect.
we'll get there. We'll get through the learning curve and the learning process. And we appreciate the time you guys have put in. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to talk about at all tonight? All right. Then with that said, let's have a